morning, guys. We actually have the sun rising in the back, which is interesting because usually that's not happening, which does tell us that the time is going to be changing soon. Anywho, how are you guys doing? It is a Wednesday morning, midweek, so that's a good thing. It's always a good thing when you make it to the middle of the week. You just got 2 more days until the weekend, and then your weekend is over in 2 seconds. My goal today is to go work out after work and the chiropractor today, so hopefully that still does happen. I'm so excited that it's finally getting into the fall weather here in Florida, even though our fall is nothing compared to other states or up north, because right now it's literally 69 degrees. But that's still a big plus for us Floridians because we don't get a lot of cold weather. And usually Christmas, we're beach ready for Christmas Day because it's like literally that hot. So hopefully this year will be a little bit different. Anyways, on a different note, let's talk about something positive. So staying hopeful. Let's talk about staying hopeful for a quick moment. Especially if you're like a single person, sometimes it gets pretty difficult to kind of stay hopeful when you feel like nothing is happening. And I definitely have those days where I'm just kind of like, it's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna meet anyone. And like when I do meet someone, it doesn't work out because of like whatever random situations, or it just for whatever reason it doesn't work out, and then it kind of like get disappointed and you start losing hope. And me and my friend talk about this all the time, and it's like it's difficult to stay hopeful in your season of singleness, and it can get to you sometimes, but we have to do our best to not let it like affect us negatively and like put us like in a depressed state or something, because when you get to depression or you get way too down, all you do is start thinking negative thoughts, and once you start thinking all those negative things, you're feeding the negative, and that definitely can have an effect on you as a person and how you present yourself to others. So if you're always being super negative, like you're not going to attract people. Like people are going to like pull away from you because they don't want to be around a negative person all the time. Or if you're always like, oh, it's never going to happen, or I'm never going to meet someone, or everybody just sucks, or guys just suck, or I'm just not good enough, or like, no, you can't think about those things because you're going to start projecting that outwardly. Even though you're not intentionally projecting it, you're going to start projecting it. So you have to stay hopeful and think more positive about yourself. Think, you know what, I am worth it, I am important, I am special, I deserve all God's best for my life. I will have my complete happiness when the time is right. I am not alone in this, because you're not alone. There's so many people out there who struggle with the same thing. So don't think that you're alone, even though I know it feels like that, because I feel like that sometimes. I have my days, trust me, but you have to just kind of like rise above it. For me, I usually only allow myself one day. Like if I'm starting to feel that way and I can't get out of that funk, I do my best to try to get myself out of it, and I do my best to allow myself only that one day, because it does nothing for me. It's not gonna make my life great, and I'm just gonna be miserable, and I'm gonna be disappointed, and I'm just gonna be like blah, and that can lead to depression, which we're not trying to get into depression. So my rule of thumb is I just allow myself one day. If I'm feeling crappy and can get out of it, I just allow myself that day, and the next day I just like start being positive, or I'll talk to someone about it, just kind of talk it out with a friend. Have a friend that you can trust, and a friend who is willing to listen and not judge you, because especially for like a single friend who has been through it, it just makes it easier and easier to communicate. But you need to have someone who's going to uplift you and someone who's going to speak positively, because if you're venting to someone who's also negative and they're in the same funk, it's not going to work out. So talk to someone that you can trust and someone who will uplift you, and only allow yourself that one day, but don't let it get to you to the point where you're like in depression. Like you gotta fight it, and read inspirational quotes or books, or like listen to inspiring music. If you're religious or spiritual in any way, like focus on those things. Like if you believe in God, like you talk to God. It really does help, and sometimes we just kind of internalize everything and we don't verbally say it, but it does help when you verbally say things. Even if you're in your house by yourself, you're like nobody's around, just kind of like just talk to God out loud and just say, you know, like, this sucks and please help me and help me get through this and help me to be more positive and not be depressed or down about this, and help to inspire other people and help to motivate and uplift other people. So yeah, that is my 2 cents for today. I don't know if it made any sense, but hopefully it did for you. And yeah, so if you're feeling down today, don't feel that way. Try to get out of that funk. Listen to something good. Listen to podcasts are really, really good. Or like, even there's this one podcast called How I Built This, and it's not really like geared to anything of that, but it's just like how people became inspired or decide to create their business. Like, they always talk about stuff like Bumble, they talk about Panera, they talked about Five Guys, they talked about Airbnb, like how these people, the CEOs, the founders, created these businesses. But yeah, so that's a really good one. It's kind of inspiring, even though it's not about that topic. It's still inspiring and motivating to hear people who push through difficult situations to get to where they are. So anyways, the sun is in my face, so I'm gonna get going, and I will see you guys later.